And welcome back to another episode of Off Script, and have a little change of scenery today, or this week, I should say. Usually we got the Off Script logo behind, but we're changing it up this week. It feels good, you know. This is not the Hard Count with JD Pickell. This is Off Script with Zak Herbstreit. If you're new to the channel, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more information. We go on location to multiple tailgates and multiple schools throughout the season, and it's a good time. So make sure to subscribe, like this video for more content like that. And for this video, you guys have been eating up the Game of the Week videos. So let's dive right in. First off, we always start off honorable mentions. Let's get in here. Friday, two good Friday games here. Florida State versus Virginia, which is like a 6.5 point spread for Florida State. Kind of a sneaky game. And then TCU versus Arizona State, also a great game on a Friday. Then we move into Saturday. Ohio State versus Washington. Kind of actually the real first road test for Ohio State. This is a sneaky good Washington team, too, with a really good quarterback. USC, Illinois, also a great one. See if Illinois can bounce back after a humiliating loss in Indiana last week. LSU, Ole Miss. We got some feud online going on with Lane Kiffin's daughter and the linebacker at LSU going on. I'm not getting into it, but, you know, go into it if you're interested in that. Auburn versus A&M, see if Marcel Reed can keep that train going. And then this was a toss-up. This could also possibly be the game of the week, but I went in a different direction. Bama versus Georgia. Game of the year last year. Ryan Williams really made a name for himself in that game, but really excited for that one. I'll be there this week, so stay tuned for that video coming out. I'll be Penn State, Oregon game day, then I'll be at Georgia, Alabama actual game, getting footage, hearing from those Georgia fans barking the entire game. So I'm excited for that. But this week, week 5, my game of the week goes without saying here. Oregon at Penn State. Whiteout. 7:30 Eastern kick. Penn State currently 3.5 point favorite. So basically kind of a toss-up, coin flip game, field goal. And you'll see in my final score who I have, obviously. But great game. Rematch of the Big Ten Championship last year in December. I feel like a lot of people aren't really recognizing that. That game did happen. It was a really high-scoring game, too, which was crazy. But let's get right into it here. Oregon. The switch is flipped, according to Dan Lanning. The switch is flipped. Are they 100% fully tested? Not crazy, but in my opinion, I feel like this is a very talented Oregon team. I'd argue this could be even more talented than the team last year that was 13-0, Big Ten championships. From what I've seen so far, I'm liking this team. And they're kind of under the radar, in my opinion. Like, no one's really, really high on them. Maybe after this game, if they win, obviously people will be high on them. But I'm really liking what I'm seeing so far, at least offensively, what I'm seeing so far from this team. Talking about impact players here, Dante Moore, the quarterback. Currently 74.7% completion percentage. Really, really, really solid. And then 11-1 touchdown to interception ratio. So this kid's balling. And he's kind of a sleeper in the Heisman favorites. But again, if he wins this game, bolsters your case to move to the top there. And this kid, dual threat guy, can make you miss on the ground and then also has a cannon for an arm. And from what I watched, film-wise, he loves the back shoulder fade. They love throwing that. So the big question in this game for me, can Dante Moore handle the noise? Can he handle that is probably the biggest question of the week. Whiteout, complete, it lives up to the hype. It really does. It's the loudest environment in college football without a question. That's true. Maybe Death Valley and LSU. But Whiteout's historically known for being loud. You can barely hear yourself think. Can he go into this environment, thrive, and win the game? But it's not all on him. Moving on, the running back room, led by Jaden Lamar, kind of have 3-4 guys that can play there. That's from what I've seen. They just funnel guys. They get a crazy good running back room, averaging 6.7 yards a carry. We always said at Ohio State, if you get 4 yards on a first down, that's a win for the offense because you can just boop, 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 work your way all the way down the field, kill clock. Lo and behold, you win the game. So running back room and running backs, Jalen Lamar, going to play a huge factor in this game. And then on the outside, electric freshman standout, De'Corian Moore, who, in my opinion, kind of is given vibes of Ryan Williams from last year in a way. Not exactly the same play style, but I see flashes of that. His ability to make a guy miss, to get a first down. The catch radius is off the charts. But this is kind of his first real test against a really talented Penn State secondary, and I'm excited to see what he can do against this Penn State defense. Moving on here, let's talk about Penn State. My pick to win the college football playoff, obviously. If you haven't seen that video, I made about a month or two ago. It's actually shaping up to look relatively right. My Miami pick's currently looking great. I just want to say that. But, and not a lot of people are agreeing with me there, but I just want to throw that out there. But yes, Penn State was my pick to win the national championship. In my opinion, or not in my opinion, it's just true here. Very untested. I know they were supposed to play Virginia Tech week 1, and then something happened, and they ended up just had to fill the schedule. But they've played really no one so far, and they've looked all right, so. And then on paper, this Penn State team is freakish. I mean, they have a lot of returning guys on the offensive side of the ball, obviously, but their defensive side also is pretty solid. Great secondary. Their edges are amazing on the defensive side, but the main playmaker I'm looking at today, and the one that really needs to just step it up in this game, quarterback Drew Aller. And that's no secret right there. Currently has a 64.8% completion rating. Not playing great right now. It's just like subpar. If you want to win this game against Oregon, probably a high caliber Big Ten team, not probably, is, you have to exceed expectations in this. And it's not all on you. You have running backs and receivers to throw to, obviously, but it starts with you. And you set the tone. So scrambling against this relatively weaker Oregon defensive line and getting just making plays is going to be how you separate yourself in this. And then obviously looking in the backfield, the two-headed monster at running back, Katron Allen and Nick Singleton, they should have a day. Oregon led up 245 yards total rushing yards in the past 2 games. So there's a weakness there. Exploit that weakness. Let's widen the field out with receivers that you finally actually have, by the way. I remember last year, I think it was in the Orange Bowl, I didn't think a receiver recorded a reception. I think it was all tight ends and running backs. So finally have receivers in Pena and Hudson. So spread the field out a little bit, maybe a little bubble screen, a little jet sweep to them. And then once you spread the field out, get that Oregon defense kind of, discombobulated and worrying about these threats outside, then you run it with the running backs. And it's free. That's free yards right there. It's free yards. And then looking at this defense coordinator, Jim Knowles, was formerly at Ohio State, now at Penn State. This is not his first rodeo with Oregon. Played him twice last year. Once in Eugene. It's a relatively high-scoring game. I think it was like 32-31, something like that. And then in the Rose Bowl, and then completely made Will Stein, the offense coordinator at Oregon, look helpless. The Oregon offense looked, like I said, not great. And it was a great day for the Buckeyes. That's all I got to say for that. But in this specific game, can Knowles simulate that pressure with this new defense? I know they've only let up, their starting D so far has only let up 3 points all year, but they haven't played anyone. This is their first real test against Dante Moore, against a loaded running back room, against De'Corian Moore. That more-to-more connection, I needed a little more. Can we see this defense truly play to the potential? Can they play to their potential, and can they lock down this Oregon offense? And like I said at the beginning of the video, the noise is going to be the difference here. 108,000, I think, something like that, just screaming, top of their lungs, dressed just in white. There's nothing like it, especially Zombie Nation playing. It's such a scene and very intimidating for an opposing offense to go in there and just try to. And this is not a noon game. It's night. This is a night game. So they're going to have time to tailgate. They're going to have time to get, certain liquids in their body to heighten the experience, I should say. But I'm beyond excited for this game. I really am. We are so blessed to have this slate this week. Soak it all in, folks. That's all I got to say. But in the end, my prediction for this game, like I said, I have Penn State winning the national championship. So I think it's going to be a tight game. 3.5 point spread, back and forth. Defensive battle, should I say? No, I think it's actually going to be a high-scoring game to an extent. So my final, 38-35. Penn State Nittany Lions get it done at home, improve. They can win a big game, and then try to roll into Ohio State later down. But that's a different video. But right now, Penn State gets it done against Oregon, and it's gonna be a bloodbath. So that'll do it for me. I appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video. Stay tuned for the big video coming next Monday. That's the game day experience, and then also the Bama-Georgia game. So stay tuned for that. But this is Zak Herbstreit. This is Off Script. I'll see you soon.